Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another video. In this video today, I'm going to be reacting to your golf swings. Thank you guys for tuning in to watch this video. I really appreciate it. And thank you to everyone who submitted your golf swings on Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram, here's my link. It's Mike's 3D Life. You can follow me on there and submit your golf swings to be featured in the next one of these videos. Let's dive straight in and take a look at some of your golf swings. So the first one of these golf swings was submitted by William, who is 14 years old. He's from Sweden, and I think he's a scratch golfer, so he's a pretty good golfer. He's obviously able to play the game pretty well. Let's dive in and take a look at his golf swing. Let's just watch it through all the way. Okay, so he's a pretty skinny kid. Looks like he has a lot of kind of lower body movement. Definitely has to put his all into getting the ball where he wants it to go. He could improve his setup position. He's very, very upright in his posture, in his setup. I think if he was to widen his feet and keep his lower body a little bit more stable and use his pivot a little bit better, he could create a lot more power. Also, as he comes down into impact, he loses his posture quite a lot. He loses his spine angle, and that might not be much of a problem at the moment, but it could definitely lead to some injuries down the line. So I would definitely look at changing that. It looks like he hits a nice little fade anyway. Let's move on to the next golf swing. Now we've got a video from Ed Hanahan, I think it is, on Instagram. He's actually playing the 7th hole at Pebble Beach, which I'm pretty jealous just watching. But let's take a look at his golf swing. He looks like he has a very, very strong right hand grip, so that's immediately going to cause some issues. He also looks like he doesn't have great posture at setup. He could definitely work on improving that. Could definitely lead to some injuries, as it has for me. So as he takes the club back, he rolls it a long way inside, takes it to the top, gets very deep and across the line, closed club face, but he's got a very cupped left wrist. That's going to cause some issues there. And also, his left arm isn't straight either. He gets the club very deep in behind him. And then on the downswing, he really has to work the arms, doesn't have much rotation of the body, and has to work the arms and gets very flippy through impact. You can see the club rolling over. So it looks like he definitely hits quite a big draw. You know, his bad shot's probably going to be either a big push out right or a big hook left, so definitely some changes to be made there. So this next guy's golf swing I actually really like. It's a really good golf swing. His name's David Plays Golf on Instagram. Go check him out. He says his goal is to be a pro. He's off 4.5 handicap, so round it up to 5, I guess. This time last year he was off 8, so well done for getting down. I really like his setup. Really good posture, chest nice over the ball, legs are pretty straight but nice bend in the hips. Now as he takes the club back, pretty good takeaway. There's not too much going on there. Nice one-piece takeaway. Keeps the club face square to his spine angle. Now as he takes it to the top, that right elbow is going to fold, gets to the top, huge high backswing, a lot of width, a lot of room, is going to create a lot of power. That huge high right elbow gets his hands and arms a long way above his shoulder plane, which is good because it's going to create some power and a lot of width, but it could also kind of take away from some of the consistency, especially with maybe some of the shorter clubs. But from here, he shallows it out really nicely, starts to rotate his body, but here's where he gets into a bit of trouble. He shallows the club out nicely. The club moves very well throughout his entire golf swing, but as he comes down into impact, he's going to early extend, and he's going to create some really bad posture. He's going to cut across the ball quite a lot. The club exits really far left really quickly, which is going to mean, I would say his bad shot is probably going to be like a straight pull left, just left kind of staying straight, or kind of maybe like a bit of a push fade right. So definitely for him, work on your posture, keep those hips back. Maybe don't worry about rotating so much. You have a lot of rotation, but you need to maintain that flexion because you're losing your spine angle in that downswing quite a lot. So next, let's take a look at Claudia Golf 96 on Instagram. Thank you very much for submitting your swing videos, really appreciate it. Let's take a look at her golf swing. So she's a 23-year-old golfer in Marbella, and I think she said she plays off 8, which is really good. Obviously, she's trying to become a pro and make it on the Ladies European Tour. So setup positions, really good, nice and relaxed, good posture, good spine angle, really like that. As she takes the club away, she gets into a little bit of trouble taking the club slightly outside, and the arms and hands are very far away from the body. If she could keep her arms and hands more connected to her body throughout the golf swing, I think this would massively, massively help. But she gets the club in a pretty good position in the backswing. She gets a little bit long as well in her swing, over swings quite a little bit. If she stopped the swing a bit shorter, I think she'd have so much more consistency. As we start the downswing, this is where she gets into a bit of trouble. The shaft starts to steepen and she comes over the top quite a bit. She then kind of cuts across the golf ball and has quite a lot of flip in her hands and wrists, which it looks like she hits a bit of a high fade, and her miss would probably be like a low left pull or maybe occasionally a big high right shot. So for her, early extension and maintaining her spine angle are going to be huge things, and this is kind of a trend we're seeing with a lot of these golf swings, is early extension and not maintaining your spine angle, and those two things create so much consistency in the golf swing. If you look at 99% of professional tour players, those are two things they do throughout all of them. Like, they may swing the club differently, their arms, their hands, the club may be in different positions, but their posture, their spine angle is really consistent. That creates consistent ball flights, consistent strikes, and you know, it's going to create a lot of power as well. So this next golf swing is from Joshua Dillard. Really appreciate you submitting your golf swing into me. So apparently Josh has had some back problems and is still kind of very stiff, and as he sets up to the ball, you can definitely see from his posture, he looks incredibly stiff, very, very upright, kind of not a very natural, relaxed kind of position. As he takes the club back, whips it straight inside, in behind him, and gets across the line, and as we're going to see from that position, to get back and recover, he has to go over the top, steepen the shaft, and really almost comes down on this driver. It looks like his launch angle is probably a few degrees down, which is something you definitely don't want. You can tell he's trying to rotate really hard, but he's just not able to do it, probably because of his back, and because he's so upright and his spine doesn't have any tilt back, he's just not able to create any room or any kind of power. Quite a lot to do, really. So, sorry Josh, looks like you're going to be spending a long time at the range, mate. Also, another thing to mention with all of these golf swings is very few of them are actually filmed well. A lot of them aren't in slow motion, which is not ideal, but a lot of the angles are very far away from where you want to be filming. When you're filming your golf swing, you want to film it straight down the line of your feet, and you also want to film it kind of just above waist height. And you want to keep this consistent every single time you're filming your golf swing, so that it's really easy to go and compare and notice when you're making changes. The next golf swing we're going to look at is from Mason Horner Golf, who is the lead golf instructor at Cowboys Golf Club in Texas. So let's take a look and see what his golf swing is like. So as you would imagine with a professional golfer, he's got a pretty good setup, looks nice and relaxed. He could maybe have his legs slightly straighter, maybe hips a little bit more bent over the ball, but overall, not bad setup at all. Now, as he's a professional, he obviously knows how to film his golf swing, and this angle is spot on. He's filmed it in slow motion, down the line of his feet, at a good, consistent height. As he takes the club away, he gets the club face open very quickly. If we pause it here, the club face is very, very open. The arms are quite detached from his body. You can see a lot of gaps under his armpits, which isn't ideal because you want to keep your golf swing nice and compact. You want the big muscles in your body to be doing the majority of the work. And that's how you create consistency, consistent strike, consistent ball flight, and play some really good golf. Now, as he takes the club back and to the top, he gets the club face very, very open and laid off. It looks like maybe his left hand grip is a bit weak, just from the position he gets in there. His left wrist is pretty straight, but the club face is pretty open. As he starts down, you can see the club face is still very, very open, not a huge amount of rotation. His hands and arms are still kind of detached from the body. They're not working together as a unit. And because of this, as he comes down into impact, you're going to see a huge amount of rotation in the club face really quickly, which is not ideal. Huge amount of flip and roll in the hands and arms. And he almost has to like rescue it with the hands and arms and kind of smother it instead of just being able to turn through and keep a square club face. So this next golf swing is from Max. I can't pronounce his last name, but his Instagram handle is there. Let's take a look at the face-on one first. Let's make a bit of a change. Pretty powerful golf swing. Good strike, I like that. Body's working well. Good top of the backswing, yeah. From this angle, love that spine position. Works really well, looks great. Compresses the ball well, yeah, nice. Now let's take a look from down the line. He's very, very over the golf ball. He could almost maybe be a little bit more upright, I would say. As he takes the club back, I would say again, his hands and arms are very, very detached from his body. This means that he gets the club very open at the top. His hands and arms are very, very high. Because his hands and arms are so high, he then comes quite over the top in the downswing and really kind of cuts across the ball, and again quite a lot of flip with the hands going through and a bit of early extension. Things we're seeing constantly is early extension, loss of posture, poor spine angle. Guys, save yourselves some money. Medical fees in the future. You gotta keep your posture better. I know better than anyone. I've had injury after injury due to bad posture, loss of posture through impact, early extension. That is something that is so, so, so important to play good golf and to play golf for the rest of your lives, guys. Otherwise, you're going to be done in 5 years. Seriously. Okay, we just got a few swings left. Let's take a look at the last few golf swings. So I'm not even going to try and pronounce this guy's Instagram handle. Check him out if you want. So this guy's set up with a net in his back garden, as I'm sure quite a lot of you guys are at the moment, so respect for that. He's got pretty good posture from down the line. As he takes the club back, it comes a little bit outside again, but he keeps the club face nice and square. It's a pretty flat rotational golf swing. Pretty good. It looks like his left hand grip might be a touch strong because the club face at the top is a little bit closed and his left wrist is pretty straight. That's a pretty good indicator that his grip might be a bit strong. As he comes down, he does have to steepen that shaft a little bit, comes down a bit on top of it with a closed club face and kind of a little bit flat and heely through impact, but he keeps his hands and arms very connected to his body. Pretty good spine angle throughout the whole golf swing, and yeah, pretty compact, pretty good motion. Let's have a look from front on, see how he moves. I would say he could have a little bit more spine tilt back away from the target, would maybe help create a little bit more power. But it's a pretty good golf swing. There's not too much to talk about. His hands and arms nice and compact. Good work, man. So let's do 2 more golf swings. This next one's going to be Harry Naunton. Firstly, to mention, he's done a really good job of filming his swing. Good height, down the feet line, like that. Nice work, man. As he takes the club away, he does come very inside, takes it away with the hands and rolls the club inside very quickly. His left hand grip is definitely super strong because that club face is super closed at the top of the backswing, but his hands and arms are nicely connected to his body. Really good arm position, nice pivot, good spine angle. Now as he swings down, pretty good, maintains his spine angle, no real early extension, good connection with the hands and arms, nice square club face. Good work, looks good. Looks like he's got a pretty promising future in golf. Just maybe sort out that grip, sort out that takeaway, and he'll be well on his way to having a very good golf swing. So this last golf swing might be my favorite out of all the golf swings that were submitted. This was by Boris. He plays off a handicap of 1, so he's a very good golfer. Let's take a look at his swing. He sent in 2 videos, one from face on and one from down the line. Let's take a look at full speed for a second from down the line. Good, consistent tempo, nice swing, good, compact, keeps the arms, hands very close to his body. Let's slow it down. Really good address position, good spine angle, nice and relaxed, arms hanging down. Takes the club away in one piece, body turning, arms, hands, everything connected to his body. Square club face, right elbow starts to bend. Good position at the top, nice square club face. Starts to shallow it down pretty nicely. Good rotation. Loses his posture a little bit through impact, but hits the ball nicely. Good club positions. 2 things I would mention: he could do a better job of shallowing the golf club and maintaining his spine angle. I would say if he had slightly more of a pause at the top, then he could let his hands and arms lower a little bit instead of steepening the club and the hands and arms staying quite high. He could then allow them to drop, and then he could just rotate onto the ball and make sure his spine angle is really good. Let's take a look from face on quickly. Pretty good neutral setup like that. As he takes the club back, he could maybe have a little bit more tilt at the top of the backswing away from the target. This would enable him to keep his spine angle much better coming into impact, because as you'll see, if we draw a line through his spine angle here at the top of the backswing, and then if we draw a line at the spine angle through impact, those are 2 pretty dramatically different lines and angles. So that's definitely something to work on, but otherwise really good swing, good balance, good tempo. Really like that, man. Good work. So guys, if I didn't feature your golf swing, I do apologize. I had a lot of submissions and I didn't want to make this video too long. But if you do want to be featured in the next video, send me your golf swings on Instagram and follow me on Instagram. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope you guys have enjoyed it. It's certainly been very interesting. There's been some interesting golf swings, some good, some not so good, but there's plenty to work on there for all of you guys. No excuses to not be going to the range or think we have the best golf swings in the world. So make sure you do subscribe to my channel, make sure you like this video and comment your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to think. Hope you guys are staying safe and healthy at home, and I will see you guys in the next video. Grip it and rip it, guys.